Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and today I'm joined by Derek.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
We are finally back, wrapping up Wicked Wicked Games. It was a struggle, but we got there. um, we're
Thanks,
what?
TV. Thanks, TV.
Yeah, right. I was like, I know the minute that my friend sends me these DVDs, it'll be back on TV. We are discussing episodes 55 to 62 tonight. So I'll roll the credits and we'll get right into it. So, since it had been so long, I kind of forgot what the cliffhanger was.
Yeah.
So when we saw Benjamin in the field, I'm like, wait, what happened?
Celeste just gave him the note. Yeah.
Yeah, from the boss.
Right.
To go where the body was.
Yeah.
So he finds Hope's body,
Mm-hmm.
and he's devastated because
Mm-hmm.
he knows Hope from like high school, I think, right?
Yeah.
He knows that Blythe had something to do with this. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think he knew that she killed her at that point, though, right?
I think he guessed because he saw the brooch, her brooch there, and was like, he knew it was her. So I think he knows that she's involved somehow,
Right,
and he does question about her about it later.
right.
Yeah.
Violet's still tied up,
Mm-hmm.
being starved to death.
Mm-hmm.
um, Edward is still stalking Emma,
Yeah.
even though he's like on the run with Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
um, he has a gun on him. I don't know. What did he tell Jennifer? Did he say he needed something from the office and that's why they were going to the tides?
I think so, yeah. And she was gonna distract the security officer going and
Right. So Jennifer goes to distract the guard, and she's like, I did not expect this from her, honestly.
mm,
She was like, she had her back towards Edward, and she was just like, he has a gun in the car.
yeah.
He's like, don't react. He's crazy.
I feel like she finally realized he's like unhinged and like he's gonna do something.
Right. Um, I'm sorry. There's like freaking loud engine car driving by right now. I live in the middle of the woods. I don't understand why there's all these noises. um, so Emma comes walking out, and Edward is driving right at her. And
Hmm.
plot twist, did not see this happening. Jennifer yells for Emma and then pushes her out of the way and takes the hit.
Yeah. At first though we didn't know who took the hit in the end of the first episode because they left it like open ended. It could be either one of them.
Oh, really? Because I took away from it that it was Jennifer the whole time.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
no, because Josh thought it was Emma when they were wheeling, somebody into the hospital, and he was just relieved it wasn't her. But yeah, I felt like it was like weren't sure who it was.
Is that why they just showed the hand with the
Yeah,
blood on it?
yeah,
Which to me meant dead.
yeah,
So I immediately was like, no, but I thought it was Jennifer the whole time,
yeah,
honestly. So I was like really upset about that. Um, they played with my emotions because she was in critical condition. She was not dead. She was in
hmm,
a coma. So I was like, okay, there's hope.
yeah,
Um, Emma like takes it upon herself to like sit at her bedside and apologize constantly. She
yeah,
apologizes for hitting her for the watch. And
yeah.
I'm like, this doesn't. I don't think someone in a coma wants to listen to this.
Wow. I mean, I get that she feels bad, but like,
um, Jennifer eventually ends up waking up, and here I am thinking, yay, she's alive, she's awake. Nope, flatlines.
yeah,
What
long.
the fuck?
I know.
I was so upset. I was like, oh wow. I was like, I like love Jennifer, I guess. I didn't realize like how deep I felt for
Yeah.
her. um Lonnie is still poisoning Anna
Yeah.
with arsenic
Mhm.
in her coffee, which is then resulting in headaches.
Mhm.
Not stomach issues, right? Just headaches.
I feel like it was just headaches, yeah.
Okay. Um, so she does that for a few days, and then Anna calls out of work one day, and Lonnie gets a phone call from Blythe, and she's like, "Well, she's like, it's working. She has headaches," and she's like, "But is she dead yet?"
Right.
And she's not. So Lonnie gets threatened about her sister's body parts being dismembered. And she decides she's gonna bring like a get well basket to Anna,
Mhm.
which has teas in it. And she's like, "Do you want me to make the tea right now? Like right now?"
At first, Anna's like, "No, I'm okay," and then later she changes her mind.
Yeah.
Lana looks
And
like
she's
a
like,
love puppy dog.
um, Brooke has decided that she does want to move in with Aaron.
Mhm.
Um, what's his name? Josh.
Yeah,
Josh proposes to Emma,
yeah,
and everybody's really excited, but they're at the hospital. Oh, because Anna ends up falling over and having to be hospitalized.
yes.
So while she's like, she comes through. They don't know what's causing this. Um, how did they find out? How
The
did they find out
message
about the
from the
arsenic?
boss. Message from the boss.
Oh, right,
Maybe the hospital. Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So then they start doing like blood tests to see if there's arsenic in her system.
yeah.
Because now, if that's true, then it becomes attempted murder.
Mhm.
So she's awake now, and they're all like, they all, meaning Anna, Emma, and Maddie,
Maddie.
Maddie, are
Mhm.
all like excited about the engagement, but they're like, you have to tell Brooke.
Mhm.
And she's like as soon as possible because she can't find out from somebody else because she already thinks she's the last to know everything. I'm like, well, she is.
Yeah.
um, their reaction was funny. It was typical Brooke when she found out.
Mhm.
But the minute Emma was like, "Will you shut up? I want to ask you to be my maid of honor." She was like, "Oh my god, yeah, I'm so happy for you."
Yeah.
um, what's her name? I just said it. Brooke
Mhm.
decides that she might be interested in design school,
Yeah.
so she's applying.
Mhm.
Um, so I kept flip flopping on the boss because here we are. We're like 2 episodes left, and I don't know who the boss is. I'm like, are they gonna wait till the finale?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening? So a person walks into the secret room with a knife,
Mhm.
presumably to either hurt Violet or let her go. It's left kind of ominous, but then we see her free.
Mhm.
And at the end of this episode, I think this is when Lonnie went to Taylor to
Yeah, I
tell him
think that's
everything.
the thing. Yeah.
And poor thing, she can't catch
Yeah.
it because she confesses that she was poisoning her, and she confesses that she wasn't in a rehab, that she herself was held hostage, like
Mhm.
everything. And he's just like trying to process all of this because it's a lot.
Yeah.
And then Violet walks in, and they're
Mhm.
like, "We have to get out of here because this is the first place she'll look."
Yeah.
But then I was watching on my phone, so I couldn't see who walked in, and I rewound it twice, and I still couldn't tell who it was.
Mhm.
I thought it was the boss, and I thought Hope was alive. I thought Hope was the boss. I was like, "Who is this?" I couldn't wait to start the next episode.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so funny.
It was not Hope. It was this woman that's been like visiting everybody, saying the boss sent her, right?
Yeah.
Who turns out to be their other sister,
Yes. Celeste.
Celeste.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so they're debating whether or not they should break into Blythe's house and get the videotapes
Mhm.
or the digital recordings that she's been making.
Yeah.
Um, because the boss said that they should do that and make sure that they get a file that says
Checkmate.
checkmate.
Mhm.
So all of a sudden, Violet, I mean, who knows? She has computer skills, but she knows how to be a hacker and break into somebody's computer.
And it was so funny is how 2006 was it with the way the computer looked and the files and all
Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, it was 2006, things were a little more
Yeah,
then, but still,
they didn't have the ones you plug in yet, I guess.
I guess not."
You had to copy to a DVD to a CD-ROM.
Right, we were still burning mixtapes on CDs
Yeah.
from LimeWire.
Oh, yeah.
I've killed many a computer with LimeWire. Side note, like, on the LimeWire,
Mhm.
so I would, like, get a virus, and then somebody would fix it, and they'd be like, don't download LimeWire," and the minute they left, I was like, "Download." I was like, "I need music."
Yeah.
Um, so Lonnie plans to be the one that distracts Blythe because she's working for her,
Mhm.
and Blythe kinda had, like, a weird soft moment, but I didn't trust it because I she always flips on a dime, where she
Mhm.
was like, "Come here, talk to me," and she, like her and Lonnie, like, sat down. It was just very
Yeah,
calm, and I was like, I don't like this. She's gonna grab her by the hair again."
right. Like, what's she up to?
Yeah. Um, what set it off? Did something fall that they heard a noise or something?
Yeah, 'cause she heard Violet drop something in the office and she heard it. Yeah.
Right. Just as, like, the computer files are barely finished copying.
Right.
I thought it was gonna fail, honestly, and they weren't gonna have any proof.
Yeah.
But I was like, we are coming to the end, so something has to, like, give. So I guess just as she finished copying everything, she had the disc. Blythe
Mhm.
sees it. They have a little tussle
Mhm.
and loved it. Violet punched Blythe right in the face.
Yes.
She said she was gonna do. She was like, "I'm gonna punch that bitch in the
Yes, she did.
face." um, Not before she kind of threw Lonnie around a little bit, but then Lonnie came up behind her and smashed a was it a vase over her head?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
loved it, loved it.
Yeah, those are some of my favorite scenes. They were so good.
um, so I had a moment where I was like, "Ooh, do I not trust Taylor?" When he was like, "Get out of here, I'll take care of this." I was like, is it going to be revealed that he's been working for Blythe? Like, I was like really nervous.
Yeah.
I was like, why does he want to stay? Like, why does he care? What is he
Yeah,
going to do?
why does he care? Yeah.
Because he was like, she's breathing, she's just unconscious, and I'm just like, okay, so leave her.
Yeah, so she's
She was-
fine.
it's fine. um, what happened with Benjamin? Oh, so
Mhm.
we'll go back to Benjamin. Edward gets caught by the police. This is his high speed chase. He
Yeah.
gets caught. Um, and that's pretty much it for him. That was like the last we saw of him. Like 4 episodes before the show ended, I was like, oh, all right, Jennifer's dead.
Yeah.
That's the last of him.
Mhm.
Emma and Josh are
A lot
happy
of
now.
trouble. Mhm.
um, so Philippe still wasn't trusting him for some reason. I felt like he was hanging around too long
Yeah.
after he said he had to leave.
Mhm.
um, but I realized that I know the actor
Oh,
just from one thing.
okay.
He was in the Ugly Betty pilot. I don't know if you remember the pilot. He was
Mm.
the photographer that came up with the plan with Daniel to like embarrass Betty so she would quit.
Oh, really? Okay. I
Yeah,
remember
so she
that,
dressed
but I
up.
don't remember it
He
being
like
canon.
made her model, so she dressed up in like this slinky
Mhm.
thing. Yeah, so he was the French photographer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that would have made sense because that was around 2006. So, which is now
Mhm.
that we're
Yeah,
watching.
right.
um, so Benjamin, what happened with Benjamin?
Well, he got, we questioned Blythe about the whole, when he found Hope's body and asked her if she had anything to do with it. And she nodded, of course. But I was wondering, like, why hasn't he like turned on her yet? Because like I think she calls him later, and then he goes to like have sex with her.
Right.
So
She she had a line where she was like, "You used to drop everything and come running." She's like, "Now I sense hesitance in you," or whatever.
yeah, because I feel like
Um,
Benjamin just is in over his head, and he realizes there's no way out now, so there's nothing he can do.
was it before? The Aaron and Josh found the pills, or after that we found out that she had DID?
I think it was when they found him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, they kinda hinted at that because
Mhm.
sh in the past episode, she was like she said she would never kill anybody. What are you talking about?
Yeah. There were clues.
Yeah. I liked how they set it up, though, at the vanity where she had 3 different mirrors. So it was
Mhm.
like her alters were talking to her.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
she's like, "What did you do? What did you do?"
Yeah.
So, Josh seems to have the theory that she had to take herself off of these medications to
Right.
be able to go through with everything that she went through.
Yeah, which she probably did.
Yeah. Um, can you hear those people screaming outside? Oh, okay. These kids are, like, screaming at each other. Um, yeah, so didn't see that coming. I kinda groaned a little bit because of how often DID has been used in daytime lately over the past
Mhm.
10 years.
Yeah.
But
I didn't guess she had DID though. I That was a surprise. I didn't realize think that was it.
yeah, I didn't even think about that, honestly.
Yeah.
I knew she was crazy, I just didn't know, like,
Mhm.
what her actual diagnosis was.
Right. Makes
Um
sense though.
um, so then what happened? Oh, so I guess they were having an engagement party at the Tides or the Bridal Club
Yeah, it's a bridal club.
for Emma and Josh.
Mhm.
And now Blythe is on the run and she's like staying in a hotel and she's cutting out like newspaper clippings. I couldn't it looked like she spelled something out with the newspaper clippings. Did you
Mhm.
notice that? Could you make
I
out
did,
what
I couldn't figure out what it was.
yeah, I didn't know what it said.
Something about daughters or something.
Yeah, and I didn't care enough to rewind it. I was like, if he knows, he'll tell me.
Yeah.
um, but so she's obviously not invited and she's a fugitive at this point.
Yeah.
Um, so she runs into a woman that is invited and it's like, "Is that your natural hair?" And I don't know if it was a wig and she snatched it from her
I think that's what she was getting at, yeah.
or she bought a wig to look like her, but obviously that woman is either dead or unconscious somewhere because she
Right.
took no invitation.
Mrs. Winningham.
That woman did not speak a word. She was not paid for that role.
She's
She
not saying
literally she
anything at
literally turned
all.
around and pointed, it said no words.
Yeah, maybe she was deaf or something. I don't know.
Well, if she was hoping to get her SAG card, she did not from that role.
No. Mhm.
Um, but this party required not only an invitation, but you had to show your ID to get in.
Yeah,
Life didn't look like that woman, like, in her
not at
face,
all.
but we just gotta, like, go with it, I guess.
Yeah.
So she gets into the party. She's kinda stalking and scowling at everybody.
Mhm.
And she eventually has everybody at gunpoint. Did she shoot off a round? She shot Aaron,
Yeah, by accident, but
and I'm like, "Fuck," because this is what I read online. I
mhm.
thought it was Josh, but it wasn't. Like,
Yeah.
when he first got shot. It was Aaron, and I'm like, "Oh, no. Is Aaron gonna die?"
Mhm.
Remember, I was like, "I feel like one of her sons has to die."
Yeah.
So, I was really nervous about that. Um, Theo and Anna are to the side somewhere, and he's calling was it Anna that said, "Don't go there, call her bluff," or whatever? Because
Yeah,
she's like, "I'm
because
gonna
she
count to
kept
3."
calling Theo, because she wants him to come out of hiding.
Right. Um, so then Josh stands in front of Emma because she's about to shoot Emma.
Mhm.
She keeps telling him to get out of the way, and he keeps saying, "I wanna speak to the boss. I wanna speak to the boss."
Yeah.
And that's, like, making her wig out a
Mhm.
little bit.
Yeah.
But I guess the boss eventually comes through,
Mhm.
and she's, like, remorseful, I guess, and then the cops come
Yeah.
in, and they tell her to put her gun down, and she cooperates.
Yeah.
Um, so and she's apprehended.
Mhm.
Um, I felt like I didn't really still know how this was gonna end. I was like, are they gonna like leave some kind of open twist cliffhanger just in case they decide to do a part two at some point?
Yeah, I would have loved the second season, to be honest.
It was funny because so I guess there was a scene after this with
Mhm,
Lonnie and Taylor. She's packing up. She's like, I have to get a job somewhere else.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
he brings her outside for like donuts, and she's basically like, listen, you don't have to draw this out. If you're gonna break up with me, break up with me.
mhm,
Don't make this harder than it is. And he's like, no. And
mhm.
he said, I think bagels are the more appropriate breakup pastry.
Yeah,
So then that was the last episode, but
mhm,
Taylor was at we had like a flash forward,
mhm.
and now it's Brooke and Aaron's wedding.
Yeah, like a
We
year
didn't get to see
later.
Josh and Emma's wedding at all.
No, it's over.
We're
We never
married.
did. Yeah,
Um, and Taylor was at the wedding, and I remember thinking, I was like, yeah, we're not gonna see Lonnie ever.
mhm,
Like that was it.
yeah.
And
And
because
we
of what
don't find out anything about the baby or Lonnie's
yeah,
sister, Violet. We don't find anything about that.
I wanted to know more about the sister. I wanted more information.
Yeah, yeah,
I expected at some point her Lonnie's ex-boyfriend from Vegas to show up because he was threatened to be called so many times.
yeah.
I thought the Candyman or
And I'm
Sugar
guessing
Man or whatever
Benjamin
his
went
name
to jail
was.
because they just had that scene where he was questioned by the police after Blake, got Blake's files were turned in by the sisters. So yeah, that was the last we saw of him. So we don't know if he got prosecuted or if he's in jail or if like he turned over evidence against Blake. We don't really know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess we can assume Edward's in jail,
Oh yeah. Hmm.
so that I really didn't need any more of him. I didn't like him anyway.
No.
Um, really, really pissed that he got it. Well, he didn't
I
get
feel
away with
bad
it.
for
But he
Benjamin.
killed Jennifer.
I feel bad for Benjamin. He got caught up in a really bad situation, and I don't think he's like a bad person,
No,
but he just
yeah.
maybe
I
the police
for a
got
split
him.
second, I even thought maybe Theo was the boss.
Yeah,
I just couldn't work it out in my brain how that made sense though.
yeah,
Because I just it needed to be somebody that we knew. Because
mhm,
bringing in a new person at the end wouldn't have been satisfying.
yeah,
So it was a nice twist.
mhm,
Um, so at the wedding, we kind of get like a lot of closure through dialogue, but it's like quick dialogue. We
mhm,
find out that Brooke applied to a design school in Rhode Island and she got in.
yep,
We find out that well, obviously she's married, so her and her husband are both going to move to Rhode Island until she finishes school.
mhm,
We find out that Emma's pregnant.
mhm, yeah.
um,
And Theo's back at the ties as president.
yes, because
Mhm,
that was a thing that Anna was kind of like not sure if she wanted to do.
yeah,
Um, it was interesting that Theo and Anna were married, but have no biological children together. But they're
mhm,
both about to be biological grandparents to the same kids
yeah,
because their kids are not married.
yeah.
um,
And Maddie ended up with Philippe, and they traveled the world together.
that's when I finally took a sigh of relief and
Yeah.
believed that he was nice because he made it to the wedding.
Yeah,
Life was captured, and I'm like, all right, I guess I could trust you now.
yeah,
Yeah, Maddie's gonna like travel the world.
yeah.
Um, we and this is also how we find out about Lonnie. Apparently, all the charges were dropped.
Mhm.
She couldn't come to the wedding because she started a new job, and I was like, yeah. That's when I was like, yeah, that's how we're just gonna end Lonnie. We're just gonna have it in dialogue.
Yeah, right.
So
Mhm,
then, um, we obviously have to get one last scene of Blythe. She is in an institution. She
mhm.
is strapped to the bed, not only by her wrists, but she has like buckles across her whole body.
Yeah.
And a nurse comes, and it's Lonnie. That was
Yeah.
her new job.
Yeah,
And she kind of looks like she lost it a little bit.
a little
Like I
bit.
get it, she's taking her revenge. I was like, grab her by the hair. Like I just was like, grab her by the hair. But she basically says she's gonna enjoy torturing her the way Blythe tortured her.
Yeah.
So that was really satisfying.
I love that ending. I thought it was perfect. I
Yeah,
really loved it.
yeah. So the show really, I guess the phrase is subverted my expectations.
Mhm.
Because every time I thought they were gonna go one way, they kind of went another way.
Yeah, the writing was really good.
I haven't seen all of these. I've seen like most of Fashion House, bits
Mhm.
of American Heiress, and so far this is the best one that I've seen.
Oh, yeah.
It's the
I
only one that I've seen in its entirety.
True. Same, actually. I've only some episodes of the other ones, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we did this. It was good. Otherwise, I don't think I would ever finish one of them.
Yeah. It's a good one. It's
And
funny you no, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was actually surprised they didn't have a lot of those like recap episodes.
Yeah, they
Like,
edited them out. They got rid of them entirely because there were a
yeah,
lot more than what they showed on TV, but yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much. Did I miss anything?
Um, just the sisters went to the police station and turned over the video diary to Gannon, and they couldn't encrypt the files for like a really long time, and like they had to
Yeah.
get their cryptologist in there to do it, and they finally cracked it. And then I love the scene where Gannon's like, "That's one crazy bitch."
Yeah. Yeah, when they couldn't read it, I was like, "Oh," I was like, "It didn't copyright." But
Yeah,
then I was like, "Okay, it's encrypted."
yeah,
I was I had to keep telling myself, "We're almost at the end, so things have to happen."
right. They're having a little slow, maybe, but they'll have.
Yeah. Um, yeah, like I already said, I just wish we would've, like, found out what happened with Lonnie's sisters.
Yeah, we don't know what happened to them. There are a lot of things left open. That's why I was like, I would like a season two just to
Yeah.
see, because Blythe could always escape and get out and like start a new plan or
The circumstances are different, but
yeah,
spoiler alert for anybody that has not watched Revenge,
yeah,
it reminded me of the end of season 3 when Emily had, Victoria institutionalized.
yeah. That's true.
Um,
That was a great moment on that show too. So
yeah.
yeah.
God, I love
Uh,
that show.
it's funny because you mentioned several times when we were doing the podcast about how you wondered if the video diary would be like her downfall, and I'm like, yeah, I'm trying. I'm like, no, I can't say anything.
Yeah. I wonder what the oh, I guess that was the boss's way of, like, catching her by
Yeah,
making her do the video diary.
I don't know. I was wondering that. I'm like, did she do the video diary because she wanted a record, or so the boss wanted her to do it because she could, be her undoing? I don't know.
Yeah. Hmm. The show took a lot of twists and turns
Hmm.
because it went from her wanting to take Theo down, like, by, like, stealing his company.
Hmm.
Um, Part of that was her getting romantically involved with him,
Hmm.
to her being, like, pushed to the side for Hope,
Hmm.
and then basically having to, like, change course.
Yeah.
Um, the paternity thing made my jaw drop.
Hmm. Yeah, there were so many jaw-dropping moments. It was a really, like, well-written, well thought out show.
Anna being alive was a jaw-dropping moment.
Yeah.
It's something I had thought about, but I guess I just kinda pushed it to the side
Hmm.
because I think I forgot she died in an accident. I thought she
Yeah.
died from an illness, so I think that's why I just was like, "Oh, no, she's dead."
Yeah.
I did like the little nod, when Anna was trying to get to know Brooke a little bit better,
Uh-huh.
and Brooke was like, "Oh, I could teach you how to surf," and because Anna's accident was off of a boat, she's like, "I don't really like the ocean."
Yeah.
So that was, like, a fun little, like, nod to that.
Yeah.
Um oh, we got to see Cherry again, she was at the wedding.
Yeah, she was the maid. Well, I guess Emma was the maid of honor. She was in the wedding. Yeah.
Yeah, I was happy to see Cherry. It almost felt like we watched multiple seasons of this because it was like, "Oh, people are returning." I was like, "Oh, Cherry's here." Like,
Yeah. I mean, if you put it all together, it's like 3 seasons,
I
62
know,
episodes.
right?
Yeah.
And with streaming only being, like, 8 to 10, this is, like, 6 seasons.
Yeah, right?
But do you have anything else that you wanted to, like, mention?
There was one thing. So I think I mentioned in a previous episode that we did about the Venezuelan telenovela.
Mhm.
It's translated in Spanish. Its Spanish translation in English is "Though It Might Cost Me My Life" is what it was called. It was aired in 1998, and the character that Life was based off of was called Belgica, and she was a sorceress.
Oh,
So the telenovela sounds more like a supernatural like version of the show.
hmm.
Yeah, it kind of sounds a little like very passion-esque. Yeah, and I think I mentioned this before. The guy that's based on Theo has two daughters, and she has one son that's in a love triangle with them.
Yes, you did mention that. I
Yeah,
remember that.
so that's I don't know how it ends up, but that's the information I got from that. I tried to watch the first episode, but my Spanish is terrible and I couldn't get through it.
Where was it, on YouTube?
It's on YouTube, yeah.
The whole thing?
The whole series is on YouTube, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did it run longer? Because I know sometimes telenovelas will run for, like, 2 years, and
I
then
think it
they'll end.
ran for at least a year. There's like 100 some episodes, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Wow. Oh, I kinda wish my Spanish was better so that I
Yeah,
could
same.
watch that.
Yeah.
'Cause 100 and something episodes,
Mhm.
I wonder what kinda twist they
Well,
did,
the
especially if they're
character
supernatural.
Belgica that Life is based off is looks very wicked and crazy, and like I was like, okay, I'm glad I got to see what she looked like. And she's
Hmm,
like casting a spell in the first episode. It's, you know,
hmm,
I guess she's putting a curse on whoever Theo is based off of.
interesting.
Yeah,
Um, I think that's all I had.
yeah, okay,
Well, thank you for joining us for this wild ride of Wicked Wicked Games.
yeah, it was fun.
Um, it took us about 3 months, which is about how long it ran,
Yeah,
because
sure.
we were covering a big bulk of episodes at a time.
Yeah.
Um, but, as always, you can find us on all the socials at Queers and Soaps, and until next time, have a great night.
Good night, guys. Thanks.